I could feel my head swim in after 2 drinks. Though I must say I was flattered. Neil said, "Really? Why?" I said, pretending to be ignorant even if I fished for more compliments. "Well, even at my age, he thought I could be with you. That's a compliment." "Well, true that," I said. "All that running is surely helping." We clinked our glasses. I don't know if it was the champagne, the beautiful setting, or that Neil made me feel comfortable, but I found it easy to talk to him. "You should come here with your wife," I said. "Huh?" he said, slightly surprised. "Yeah, Kusum would love this place. Who wouldn't?" "So you guys met in college. Love at first sight?" I said. I don't know if I had overstepped the line. After 3 glasses of champagne, all so-called lines seemed pretty blurred anyway. "Yes, you could say that," Neil said after deliberating for a second. "Sorry, didn't mean to pry." "No, it's fine. Kusum and I were in the same class. She was born and brought up in the USA. I mostly lived in the UK. Both of us were desis, yet westernized. I guess we connected." "How wonderful," I said. "Yes, absolutely," he said. He became quiet. He took a big sip from the glass and spoke again. "How about you? In love pretty hard, moving countries?" "Never again. This love business is not for me," I said. I took a knife and cut across the heart-shaped cake. "That's symbolic," he said. "A knife through your bleeding red velvet heart." I laughed. "Pretty much what happened. Discarded like used tissues. Switched like a TV channel," I said. "Ouch, I'm sorry," Neil said. "Though, excuse me, I am a bit surprised." "Surprised? Like, who were you dating? Brad Pitt?" I laughed. "Not really, just a regular guy. Job on Madison Avenue." "Why? How on earth could any guy leave you?" Neil said. His words felt like cold menthol balm on my bruised, wounded heart. I could have cried, but girls who cry in front of the bosses are losers, and those who do in front of the boss's boss are the biggest losers. I'm not that great." I fumbled for words. What I wanted to say was, "Tell me more about why I am great." "Are you kidding me?" Neil said and counted on his fingers. "You are smart, successful, fun to talk, young, hardworking, funny, and well, I shouldn't be saying this as your senior, but you know," he said. He paused mid-sentence. "You know what?" I said. "I don't want to talk out of turn. It's okay. Well, you look pretty good. Very good, in fact." "Wow, did Neil Gupta just try a line on me?" But wait, did Neil Gupta actually find me good looking? And did he mean all those wonderful things he just said? I felt loads of self-esteem shots being injected into my bloodstream. "You are just saying all this to make me feel good," I said. It meant say more. "No, why would I? I mean it. You are professionally and personally one of the most amazing person I have ever met," Neil said. I swear I felt the sand shift beneath me. Neil stared me right in the eyes. We had a moment of silence as I heard the splashing waves. I absorbed his compliment. Someone as cool as me found me attractive. It was all too much. Something had to cut short circuit in me as I gave the most idiotic response. "It's okay if I send Marcos the term sheet by tomorrow evening, right?" I said. 1 month later, whole wheat toast. Fast sang Zoeng mein, I said. I had finally learned to order breakfast at the Goldman Cafe. Neil and I were the early arrivals at 7:30. Neil took his black coffee and a bowl of oats. A month since our Philippines visit, we had the term sheet signed. We had also reached settlement with the banks. "I can't tell you the details, but I have good news," Neil said. "We have a buyer?" I said, excited. "Shh," Neil said and placed a finger on his lips. "Yes, we could be going to meet Marcos soon and finish the deal." "Cool," I said. "Take over the loans on one side and sell the company on the other. What we call back-to-back deals. No risk, no on books. Best deal ever," Neil said. We gave each other a thumbs up. He reviewed the deal closing documents. "Looks good." Fingers crossed. Buyer on board soon, Neil said. I kept the documents back in my laptop bag. These last few minutes of our daily cafe meeting had become my favorite part of the day. It was when Neil and I discussed things apart from work. How is your new apartment? Neil said. I love it. 30th floor, great view. Still doing it up. I said, check out IKEA. They have good home stuff. Neat designs, good price. Neil said. Sure, we'll go there. Need to join a gym too. Have you tried yoga? I shook my head. Maybe at school in India, I said, when it was compulsory. Neil laughed. Check out Pure Yoga. They have a great studio. I go sometimes. Neil said, okay. My birthday is coming up next week. Maybe I'll treat myself to a membership. Oh, great. Happy birthday in advance. Sure. So you do yoga too. How do you do it all? I said. If you love yourself, you will take care of yourself, right? I counted the 26 pink roses. The bouquet on my desk had a maroon ribbon wrapped around it. It came from Armani Fiori, located in Central, part of the Armani brand of Italian designer Giorgio Armani. The bouquet in the shop would be no less than $200 at least. I removed a small white envelope tied to one of the roses. A card inside said Happy Birthday from the team. I sat back in my seat, surprised. The hard-nosed and tough distressed that group isn't known for affection and flowers. Bianca passed my cubicle. Happy birthday, Radhika, she said. Thank you, I said, and thanks for the flowers. The most beautiful bouquet I have ever seen. You are welcome. We don't normally do it, but you are new. Maybe that's why Neil wanted it. Neil? Yes, he told me to order it. He even selected the arrangement. I thanked everyone for the birthday wishes in the team meeting. The flowers are an exception. Don't get high hopes, Josh said. Mostly we gift each other bad loan documents, Simon said. The team burst into laughter. I looked at Neil. He smiled at me. A team from the Metropolitan Bank of Tokyo is in town. They want to meet for potential co-investments, he said, making it clear that the bouquet and my birthday card didn't warrant any more discussion. That's Tanaka-san, Shin-san, and I am Sugimura, said Arai Sugimura, head of the distressed debt group at Metropolitan Bank of Tokyo. As he introduced his team in Japan, the tag "san" is applied out of respect, sort of like Shri in Hindi. We exchange business cards held in both hands, as in the norm in Asia. Latika-san, Arai said. How do I your name right? Do I say your name right? It's fine, I said and smiled. The Japanese bankers bowed to us as they sat down. Bianca asked us if we needed anything. Everyone agreed to have Chinese tea. It's an hour you came to visit us, Neil said, turning on his client charm button. How can we do business together? Gupta-san. It is privilege for us too, Arai said. Goldman is prestigious bank. Your group has good reputation in market. Bianca came back with teacups and a kettle of tea. She placed them on the table and left. Thank you. It's all due to my great team, Neil said, waving his hand at us. Neil poured tea for himself, as did Josh and Peter. Ladika Sen, Arai said. Yes, I said. Would you mind? He said and pointed to the kettle. I realized he wanted me to pour tea for his team. I looked at Neil and Josh. They seemed confused but gestured that I do it anyway. I poured tea for the Japanese team and a cup for myself. Arai explained his desire to co-invest with our group. Nobody else from Arai's team spoke a word. In Japan, when the boss talks, you remain silent. So what kind of deals are you looking at? Arai said. Any portfolios? Arai has a typical Japanese problem of being unable to speak the R sound, which is substituted with L. Radhika bid for one recently. Maybe she can talk about it. Josh said. Radhika Sen, Arai said. Radhika Sen, Arai said. Yeah, I can tell you about this local Bank of East Asia auction. I began to speak, but Arai interrupted me with his laughter. Excuse me, I said, wondering if I had said anything wrong. Sorry, I thought Radhika Sen, your secretary. How can lady do disless that? Harai continued to laugh. His minions also grinned, taking their boss' cues. Neil pursued his lips. He looked at me once and turned to Arai. The young lady is here. Here is one of the best stress debt analysts, Neil said. Yes, yes, of course. By the way, I remember a joke when you said lady, Alai said. None of us responded. He continued. You know what they say about lady? He turned to Josh. Josh didn't answer. Arai continued anyway. When a lady say no, no, she means maybe. When she says maybe, she means yes. When she says yes, well, she is not a lady. His colleagues find the joke extra funny and laughed out loud. Peter, Josh, Neil, and I looked at each other. Arai San, I understand this is amusing to you, but frankly, this makes us quite uncomfortable, Neil said. Sorry, you may continue, Arai said. I took a deep breath to regain my composure. I spoke again. Yes, so I was saying, I said. Neil stood up. Actually, no, Neil said and paused before he spoke again. No, this won't work out. What? Arai said, his face serious. We look for fit in a partner. Sorry, Arai-san, we won't be able to do business with you, Neil said. We have $1 billion to invest. Lot of fee for Goldman on that. Alai looked stupefied. I understand, Neil said, but actually it's okay, Neil, I said. Arai-san, if I can tell you about the portfolio. Neil shook his head. Arai-san, Tanaka-san, Shin-san, thank you for coming. I'm sure you'll find a great partner. We will pass. We anyway have a lot on our plate, Neil said. Josh and Peter stood up, somewhat surprised. The Japanese bankers looked at each other. Josh, we'll see you out, Neil said and left the room. Hey Radhika, come on in, Neil said. I went into his office and sat down in front of him. He wore a pink shirt and a red Holmes tie. His face reflected a bit of pink from his shirt. By the way, happy birthday, he said. Thank you for the flowers. They are from the team, Neil said. Bianca told me you chose them. Oh, she did. She doesn't understand confidentiality. Neil grinned. He played with his cuffs. He would do that when he was nervous or excited. Neil, about the meeting with the Japanese bankers. Yeah, what touchbacks? You cancelled the deal. Well, we can't work with sexist people like that. They made you so uncomfortable. I was taken aback a bit, yes, but an odd statement here and there doesn't bother me. It's not okay, Radhika, Neil said, raising his voice loud enough for even Bianca to notice. There was business there, I said. So, Neil said. I looked at him. We exchanged a glance. I don't know if I imagined it, but it lasted a heartbeat longer than it should have been between a partner and an associate. Listen, Radhika, I am not going to allow anyone to treat you like this, he said, and immediately corrected himself. I mean, not going to allow anyone in my team to be treated like that. All right, but I was fine, I said. No, don't be fine. No business is worth that. Can we let go it today? Okay. I looked at Neil. Thanks, I said. You are welcome, he said. Now, what are your birthday plans? I have a few calls with prospective El Casa buyers tonight. Gosh, you are incorrigible, Neil said. It's not so bad. Simon has organized drinks. A couple of Coleman associates are coming. Nice, have fun, he said. I wondered if I should invite him. He read my mind. I would have come, but it will be little awkward for the rest if a partner shows up. I understand, I said. Happy birthday again, Radhika, he said. I came back to my desk. I touched the petals of one of the 26 roses. My phone rang. I had a call from India. I picked up the call. Hey sister, Aditi Didi said. Happy birthday. I came home today. We miss you. 1 month later. Here you go. A whole wheat toast with peanut butter and honey, Neil said and passed me my breakfast. I gestured him thanks with a thumbs up. I was on a conference call. I was now vice president. My expected promotion had become official 2 weeks ago. We sat in the Goldman Cafe at 7 a.m. We had a potential buyer for El Casa called Greenwood Hospitality, a US based company that owned 50 boutique hotels worldwide. On the call were Maddox Dean, MD in the Mojos department in New York, Philip Greenwood, owner of Greenwood, Neil, and I. Philip, the dogs are watertight here. I think Philip, the dog, the watertight here. I think we should close this soon, Neil said. I don't mind, Philip said. Just that your price of 50 million is too high. How about 40? Neil looked at me. I shook my head. Too low, Neil said. Let's lock at 45, Greenwood said. Neil looked at me. I nodded. Done, Neil said. Can we close the docs soon, please? This is fantastic, my dog said. We have a deal. Super. We'll go down to Philippines and close it at El Casa next week, Neil said. The call ended. Congratulations, I said. How much is the final profit? Neil said. 20 million net to us, I said. Neil and I high-fived each other. How did you guys do it? Marcos said as he flipped through the documents. Even though he tried to hide it, the smile wouldn't leave his face. He had a bankrupt business that faced foreclosure and mass layoffs. Now he would get $5 million next week in his account as a settlement fee for his corporation. That's what we do. We close deals, Marcos, Neil said. Wonderful. You are staying for several days this time, I hope, Marcos said as he signed the documents. Stay on a different island each night. I wish, Neil said. But there's a lot of work in Hong Kong. We'll leave tomorrow. Same place then? Pengalusian? Yes, Neil said. You saved my people their job. Thank you so much, he said. I collected all the documents Marcos had signed. Neil shook hands with Marcos. Pleasure doing business with you, Neil said. I stood in front of the mirror at the Pengalusian Island resort and turned from side to side. I wondered if my black shorts and the white kanji over my pink sports bra revealed too much. Neil had suggested a run before our deal closing celebration dinner. Let's burn calories before we consume them, he said. It's fine, be cool about it, I said to myself and checked myself out one last time. Okay, so the shorts were little too short. The kanji was a little too short too. I met Neil at the reception area. He wore a blue workout t-shirt and black cycling shorts. He also had blue mirror tinted Ray-Bans on. Wow, you have transformed, he said. The sunglasses covered his eyes. I couldn't tell if he was staring at me. I thought he did. Maybe. I wished he did. I haven't run in the longest time, I said. We'll jog 3 rounds of the island. 2, please. He laughed. Let's go, he said. We jogged around the periphery of the tiny island. We had walked this route on our previous trip. However, today the island felt even more dreamlike. Neil ran slower to match my pace. This way he remained only a few steps ahead of me. He ran in flawless, graceful form. I wanted to quit after the first round. However, Neil wouldn't let me. Enough, I said, holding my stomach. Come on, you are doing great, he said. For the second round, he remained behind me. I don't know if he noticed my legs. I would have been hard to miss them, considering my shots bunched up even more when I ran. I'm done, I said, gasping for breath as I finished the second round. Mind if I run a bit more? He said. Sure, I said and exhaled noisily. See you in an hour for dinner, he said and ran ahead. Soon he disappeared into the sand and green foliage of the island. I came back to my room and showered. I wore a black. It seemed perfect for an island resort dinner. The dress had a deep neckline. I wore a bead necklace to cover it. I applied makeup and created a smoky effect around my eyes. I realized I had not dressed up to look good since my New York days. Also, I noticed the name debut didn't sting as much anymore. I looked at myself in the mirror one final time. If I made an effort, I could look nice. Will he like how I look? The question floated in my head. Mini me scolded me. He may be friendly, but he is still a partner and married. Get it? I reached the restaurant before Neil. I sipped a glass of champagne as I watched the sunset. He arrived 20 minutes later. Sorry, I'm late. I ran extra rounds. Neil said. He wore a white t-shirt and beach shorts. It's okay, I said. He pulled out a chair and sat in front of me. Wow, he said, his gaze on me. What? I said. You look, well, different. He said. Good different or bad different? I said, you look stunning, actually. This dress really suits you. He had given me his first direct compliment about my looks. While working on El Casa, we had become freer in terms of talking to each other. However, we still maintained property. We didn't discuss feelings, for instance. We didn't make personal comments. In fact, we never even called each other a friend. And yet today his compliment didn't feel out of a place. Thank you, Neil. That's sweet of you, I said. There I had become so much better at taking a compliment. Where's my drink? Neil said and signaled the waiter. The waiter poured champagne for him. So, how do you feel after the run? Neil said. Good, I said, but I need to build my stamina. People older than we are whipping and doing extra rounds. Neil grinned. The waiter brought us the set menu choices. I chose the vegetarian option. It consisted of an avocado and a rocket leaf salad, followed by mushroom truffle pasta. Neil chose a seafood chowder soup and pan-seared salmon cooked in a mango salsa. To El Casa, your first big deal in Asia, Neil said and raised his glass. To Greenwood, their new buyer. I touched his glass with mine. What a resort, isn't it? Neil said. The deep orange colored sky had turned a silky texture. The most beautiful place I have ever been to, he said. Same for me, with one of the most beautiful minds I know. Sure, yeah, it's only my mind that's beautiful, I said. I'm a fisherwoman. I fish, fish, fish. Of course not. But it isn't appropriate me to comment on the rest of you. We need to get something straight, I said and sat upright. What? Are we friends or are we colleagues or are you my super senior boss? I said. That's a tough one, Neil said. Is it? Well, yes. Fact remains I am the head of the group. You are the VP. Cheers. We touched glass again. I look a big gulp. So that's who we are, colleagues, I said. Well, no, I feel like after all those breakfast meetings, I know you somewhat. You know me too, in fact. He said and paused. In fact, what? In fact, I am going to miss our breakfast chats the most after this deal, he said and stared into the horizon. Our oatmeal and peanut butter toast conversations. Don't forget the honey, I said. He laughed. I'll miss our breakfast too. I said, well, life goes on. Another day, another deal. Neil said, wait, so we are not friends. Can we be? Why not? I said, many reasons to not be. I am your senior, 20 years older, married, 2 kids. You, on the other hand, young and single, smart and attractive. Attractive? I said and smiled. Yes, of course, you are really attractive, Radhika. And just being factual. Thank you, I said. You are pretty cool too. What is this? An overworked banker's self-praise society? Neil said. We laughed. The waiter refilled our champagne glasses. We are friends, Neil said. I don't see you as a junior now. Do note I get too casual with friends. Tell me if I overstep the line. After all, you are my senior, I said. I am not the typical senior. You can be honest with me. Speak your mind. Really? Yes, try me. Okay. What do you truly think of me? I said, as a person. He wiped the water droplets on his glass with his thumb. Go on, hit me, be frank, I said. He smiled. You are smart, of course, but you are also simple and a little lost. You are one of the most attractive women I have met. You need external validation, a lot of it. This could be because you have self esteem issues. You are sensitive, but you have closed yourself. After what has happened in New York, perhaps. Wow, was all I could say, impressed and speechless at his observations. A bit too frank, he said. Yeah, ouch, I said and laughed, but not bad. You do observe more about me than the financial models I create. Oh, but your work is stellar. You could be partner one day, Radhika Mehta, partner Goldman. Here's to that, Neil said and raised a toast. Partner Radhika. With a lot of deals under her belt, but lonely without love, I said. What nonsense, Radhika. What nonsense, Radhika with a lot of love, Neil said. Whatever, I don't think so. Which song is this? It's beautiful. Life through rose tinted glasses, famous French song. But seriously, that's what you think? You won't find love? Yes, my biggest fears, perhaps. Neil gave me a look of disbelief. You want to talk about New York? He said. The waiter brought us another champagne bottle. I told him my entire New York story. He listened with full attention, nodding at every significant moment. And so that's it. I dropped the phone in the East River, came to Hong Kong, I said. I wiped a slow tear rolling down my cheek. I didn't think of debut much now. However, repeating the story was not a breeze. You could have just dropped the SIM card, and wiped the phone to factory setting, Neil said. I looked at Neil. He kept a poker face. I don't know why, but we burst out laughing. It's okay. Things happen in life. Mostly it's for the good, Neil said. More champagne, sir? The waiter said as he picked up a second empty bottle. Actually, no, I'm pretty, Neil said as I interrupted him. Yes, actually, yes, we would like another one, I said. Really? Neil said, looking at me as the waiter left. Well, I have told you a lot about me. We still have to cover you. You need a drink for that. Neil shrugged and smiled. Okay, bring it on, he said. What's your read on me as a person? Well, I said, resting my left palm on my glass. You are a bit of an enigma. Enigma? Yeah, mysterious. You are smart, clearly an overachiever, fit, good looking, charming. I could get used to this. Go on, Neil said. But, I said, but what? I don't know if you are truly happy. You should be, right? You have everything the world aspires for, right? You don't, but you don't seem truly happy. I am happy. Look at me, being paid to be on an island. Yeah, you get paid a lot, but that's not all it makes to be happy. He didn't respond. He looked searchingly at me. What makes you think I am not happy? He said slowly. I feel you put on a mask, this perfect mask. Hardworking family man controls his diet, exercises regularly. It's almost too perfect, like your perfectly ironed shirts. There isn't an out of place crease. You know what they say in due diligence, right? What? If it is good to be true, it probably is too good to be true, I said. He looked at me, his eyes wide in surprise. He put his glass down. Did I cross the line? I said. He shook his head. No, no, it's okay. What else makes you feel this way? You never talk about your family. I do. I told you, Kusum, my two kids. Factual stuff. Meaning, it's like data, no feelings. Okay, Neil said. Wow, you learn something every day. So that's what you think about me. I'm sorry if I said something inappropriate. No, it's cool, he said and smiled. The waiter cleared out dinner plates. He brought us mango with sticky rice as dessert. Sticky rice as dessert. I cut a piece of mango with my knife and ate it with a fork. Your wife is happy for all your success? I said, yes, Neil said, after some deliberation. She is. We have been together 20 years. She has seen my entire journey. 20 years. So wow, so you guys met when I was 5. I said, ouch, Neil grinned. Now you make me feel really old. What is it like being married for so long? I said, it's nice. You build a life together, a lot of memories together. You bring kids into this world. Yeah, it does sound beautiful. And yet, because you have been with a person so long, it doesn't say the same. Issues crop up. Many issues. Many issues. I sense Neil had stuff bottled up. Okay, well, you can talk about it if you want, I said. I'm not going to bore you. I don't have an exciting story with iPhones being thrown off the Brooklyn Bridge. Just stupid domestic stuff. Hey, I had an old iPhone. I would have upgraded to a new model anyway. Both of us laughed. You are funny, he said. We finished our meal. I ate too much, I said. Me too. Let's take a walk. Another walk. You are Mr. Hyperactive, aren't you? I said. He grinned. He picked up a flashlight. There was one on every table. I lifted 2 glasses and unfinished third bottle of champagne. What? Neil said. We'll take this along, I said. Kind of defeats. Neil said, and I nudged him. Come on, come, I said. We walked barefoot on the same route as our jog a couple of hours. However, the island took on a new form in the darkness. The trees appeared pitch black, as did the sea. I could see white streaks where the waves broke. Due the and the moonlight. We walked close to the shore this time. The waiter lapped at our feet, warm to our ankles. Neil's flashlight showed us the way. We walked in silence, with no sound apart from the splashing waves. The lack of conversation didn't seem awkward. In fact, it seemed perfect. I spoke after a while. You must be tired, I said. You ran 5 rounds. A little bit, Neil said, but walked on. We reached the northern tip of the island, which had C-shaped alcove. The waves became gentle here and made no sound. Rock formations on the beach jutted out of the sand. Can we sit for a bit? I said. Sure, he said. We sat down on the cold sand in absolute silence. He switched off the flashlight. The moonlight was just about enough for us to see each other's faces. I poured myself a glass of champagne. He looked at me, shook his head in disbelief, and grinned. I poured him a glass as well. He took a sip. I turned my head back to look up the sky. The night sky had so many stars. It felt like someone had sprayed it with silver paint. Wow, look at the gazillion stars above, I said. He turned his gaze up to the stars as well. Unlike Hong Kong, there is no pollution here and no backlight from the city. Yeah, I have seen stars in Hong Kong, I said. Do you recognize constellations? Neil said. I shook my head. He pointed at the sky with his index finger. See, that's Ursa Major, or the Great Bear, he said, outlining the group of 7 stars. I kept looking at his fingers. He kept talking. That's Ursa Minor, Little Bear. That's the North Star, Neil said. How do you know all this? I said. Used to have a telescope once. Can you imagine? These stars are all navigators had when they sailed centuries ago. No GPS. Unbelievable, I said. My neck hurt from keeping my head tilted for so long. I lay down on the sand instead. This way my eyes could face the sky above me and I could be comfortable. Easier to see this way, I said. Neil looked at me once and lay down as well. Our heads were 1 foot apart. What's your sun sign? He said, staring at the sky above. My birthday was just a few days back, I said. Gemini then. There's see. Those are the Gemini twins. He said, what's yours? Taurus. See over there, he said. He pointed to a group of stars that outlined a bull. Wow, I said. We became quiet and enjoyed the silence and isolation. Maybe the champagne also had something to do with it. I moved in A wave touched my foot. I moved in reflex. I did that. My ankle brushed against Neil's. He turned his head and looked at me. I'm sorry, I said. It's fine, he said, rather whispered. We looked at each other and smiled. I don't know why, call it Cole's intuition or whatever. I felt like something was going to happen. I could have moved away, but I didn't. Maybe because I wanted it to happen. He leaned forward. He placed his lips on mine. They felt as warm as gentle as the water on my ankles. I closed my eyes. My hands moved halfway to stop him, but lost the resolve to do as the kiss felt amazing. He kissed me long and deep as dozens of waves broke and touched the soles of my feet. He lifted his arm to draw me closer. Neil Gupta, partner, 2 decades older and my boss's boss, held me tight and kissed me. This was not supposed to feel good, but never had a kiss felt this good. I didn't protest. Maybe I should have. But when something feels so right, it is hard to do so. I placed my palm on his face. The, the face I have seen every day for so many months, but never touched it. I felt connected to him. I felt like the entire island existed only for this one reason, our kiss. A relatively stronger wave came and hit us harder, leaving us wet waist down. He continued to kiss me, the intensity increasing with every passing second. His finger his fingers lingered down the back of my neck. Goosebumps broke out all over my body. If he could kiss like this, his other hand went to my thighs and my heart started to thump louder. Should I stop him? I wondered. I placed my hand on his wrist but offered no resistance. Another strong wave came up and wet my entire dress. His fingers stroked my thighs. Am I really doing this? My rational mind asked me one last time in a meek voice while I moaned. Nobody cared about the rational mind tonight. My hand slid under his linen shirt, already wet due to the water. I touched his hard chest, my circled index finger around his left nipple. He bit my lower lip in excitement. We sat up. He removed his shirt, keeping his shorts on. He pulled up my dress and he had a wriggle out of it. We lay down again, the cold sand under our backs. He kissed my navel, touching his tongue to it. My knees lifted a little. I grabbed his head with my hands. Neil, I whispered. He didn't hear me. His mouth and fingers continued to explore me. He traced my bra with a lazy finger. He took his time to match the slow pace of the island. After a while, he lifted me a little. His hand went behind me and unhooked my bra in one snap. My breast felt the cold breeze. He paused to look at them, whatever he could see in the moonlight. He touched a nipple with his fingertip, took a breast in his hand. I could feel myself melting all over again. When my hand brushed over over his shorts, I knew he was as turned on as I was. If not more, his mouth was on my breasts. I lifted my hips and he pulled down my underwear. Then we were both naked on the sandy beach. He leaned over me again and kissed my inner thighs. His tongue reached down there and kissed me intimately. I also jumped up in excitement. Like all his kisses, he kept his light and slow till I began to tremble. His tongue began to gather pace. The pleasure became unbearable. I arched my back. Debu had gone down on me before. However, this was a completely new level of sensation and pleasure. If Debu was French fries, this was a gourmet 6-course meal. If Debu was dinner, this was champagne. If Debu was a boat, this was a luxury cruise. Stop comparing. And what's with the weird analogies? I mentally scolded myself and refocused on the moment. Neil continued to work magic with his tongue. I arched my back further and dug my finger in his hair. Everything good? He whispered. I didn't respond. I couldn't. I simply nodded. It wasn't just good, it was divine, sublime, insane. Philippines exclusive island level good. I could feel the build-up of an orgasm within me, as could he. I squeezed his feet between my thighs. I came hard. He lifted himself up and brought his face close to mine. He used his arm gently, part my leg, and entered me. He moved with gentle and firm strokes. I felt the build-up again, and I came a second time, more intensely than the first. My body shook. I closed my eyes, and I blacked out for at least 30 seconds. This one orgasm has the intensity of 10 orgasms. He paused after I came and pulled out of me. He brought his face close to mine and gently pecked me on the cheek. You okay? He said, his voice tender. That, I said as I gasped for breath. That was something else. How on earth did you do that? He simply grinned in response. In embarrassment, I covered my face with my hands. He gently removed my hands and looked into my eyes. He entered me again. He felt bigger than before. I clenched his shoulders as we continued to make love. Water hit us from time to time. We kissed till I felt his shoulders spasm under my hand, and he groaned. He looked into my eyes and smiled. He played with my eyelashes. He put his arm around as we lay down side by side, facing each other. That was, he whispered and paused to take a breath before he spoke again. Something else. I know, I whispered back. The stars twinkled about us. My day had started early with a morning flight in Hong Kong. Our frantic lovemaking made me feel tired. Fatigue took over. I closed my eyes.